who focuses on empowerment and is an empowerment coach. I think that's just incredible. I really think that's incredible.
Thank
So,
you.
hey, Code Keepers, we have the Aura Martinez, who is a self-discovery and empowerment coach with us today. Man, this is going to be one for the books. You know, on the Get On Code show, we're focused on empowerment, and she coaches people in empowerment. So I know you're saying, hey, Seiko, what's this have to do with empowerment? Duh. What's this have to do with Black empowerment? Stay tuned. All right. Welcome to Get On Code, the Fly Guy Show, which is a series of melanated conversations focused on empowerment, health, wealth, and knowledge of self.
People think in binary choices because they are conditioned to.
And on the wall was a picture of a wolf and a lion. I think the wolf was the Democratic Party, the lion was the Republicans.
But the drug trade and all these illegal stuff that people do, that's still economics. It's just that they couldn't do it in a traditional system.
We're talking about melanated wealth.
So we can build wealth, but we just, for some reason, don't seem to be able to transfer it.
You had a great experience. Fine. That means nothing.
What were you told as a child about education? You had to be how many times better?
Every impression without an expression becomes depression.
All right. As we say, get on code, share the code, teach the code, become the code. Our code is empowerment. And today with us is an empowerment coach, a self-discovery and empowerment coach. Now, one thing that's intriguing, sis, is you combine self-discovery and empowerment. Are they naturally siblings? Do you have to have one to get the other? You know, are they two sides of the bird, one wing, the left wing, right wing? You know, holler. Why self-discovery and empowerment?
They both go hand in hand. There is no empowerment unless you do that self-discovery. Why? Because the more connected you are with yourself, the more you know what direction to go in life, the more clarity you're able to get, the more certainty you're able to get, the more discernment you're able to get, the more grounded you're able to be. And so when one is looking for empowerment, one of the things that we tend to do when we want empowerment is that we tend to go outside of ourselves. Yes, there is a place for us to get inspired, but I'm one that says that if you want to be inspired, go for your transformation. That transformation requires you to do that self-discovery because it is your transformation that's going to lead you to that inspiration that you seek. So yeah, they go hand in hand, actually.
All right. I must say, you're blinding us with the bling. Yes, you're blinding us with the bling. I was like, okay, make it pop, make it pop. But that's intriguing. I had never thought about self-discovery being a part of empowerment is eloquently, as you stated it. So now that we've gotten the goods, tell us who you are.
Yes. So you all know I'm a self-discovery and empowerment coach. I help women and also men, I've worked with men as well, gain total clarity on their purpose so that they can wake up to daily fulfillment and certainty. Now, when I say purpose, I want to clarify, if you don't mind. When we think of purpose, so many times we think is getting our calling. And I can tell you also from personal experience that you could get your calling and still not be living a purposeful life.
Wait. Say that again. Because at first it was kind of woo-woo, and then you just dropped the bomb. So you're saying that you could be living in your mission and still not be on the right path? Say it again. That's intriguing.
So it's not so much that you're not in the right path as much as you could be living your calling and still not be living a purposeful life. Because if you think about it, a purposeful life is not just getting your calling. That's just a small part of the equation. It's about you getting the totality of you, making sure that physically you're right. Mentally, you're right. Emotionally, you're right. that you have a healthy vision for yourself. See, so many times we think that our vision is, well, let me make X amount of money, right? Or let me just travel the world, right? Or let me just have this business. And you can have those things and still be like, oh my God, I still feel so exhausted. Oh my God, I still feel this. I know because I've been there, done that. So when you're wanting to live your most purposeful life,
Okay.
it is crucial that you incorporate every part of you, every part of your life. Why? Because everything creates a domino effect. So make sure that whatever vision you have for yourself, it's they all complement one another. That they all complement one another. Because that's how you're able to live your most purposeful life. And you need clarity for that. A lot of clarity.
Wow. So a lot of your work is helping people to gain clarity.
Clarity, experience greater levels of well being, getting to the root of what stops them from being the person that they say that they want to be, and also really getting deep. Is that really what you want? Because so many times we have these goals, these visions for ourselves that we think that's what we want. And then we find ourselves conflicted because we're not doing the very things that we know we need to be doing in order for us to be or have the very things that we want. And so part of the work too is really peeling those layers and getting to the core of who they really are. Because when you do that, you're able to see, okay, is this really what I want to do? Is it really? Or is it coming from someplace else that we didn't even realize or take in consideration that that's where it could be coming from?
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to understand because I was going through your Instagram feed and you have some bomb stuff on your Instagram feed. Rejection only makes you smarter, sexier, and more strategic. Well, if
Yes.
somebody is becoming more strategic, self discovery would be an integral part of becoming more strategic. And I
Oh, of
guess,
course.
okay, talk to that. Talk to that because now you've laid a really great foundation. And so when I look back at this, rejection only makes you smarter, sexier, and more strategic. Love the sexier part. All right. Um, talk to that. That's really intriguing.
Yeah. So when you have this grounding about who you are, where you're heading in life, you're able to have this level of certainty that no matter what is going on in the outer world, you don't let that shake you. What do I mean with that? So obviously, no human being likes rejection. Who likes rejection? It takes a lot of courage, but also knowing who you really are to even be like, bring on the rejection. Because I'm at that point now. I'm like, oh, yes, bring it on. But I'm going to tell you why. Because with every rejection, there's always a lesson behind it. With every rejection, there's always a blessing behind it. So the reason why I say that it makes you smarter, sexier, and more strategic is because when you're able to not let that rejection make it mean something that isn't. What do I mean? Not make it mean that there's something wrong with you. Not make it mean that you're not good enough. Not make it mean something that isn't. But rather, okay, well, what can I learn from this? So now I know I got to do it this way. Okay. Oh, this means I got to learn this skill or master this skill. A man or a woman rejects you. You know what? They're going to see what they're missing because I'm going to get sexier, right? I'm going to get more delicious. And so, but it takes that self discovery. Why? Because the reason why sometimes we let rejection get to us is because there's a layer that we're living by, not our truth. Layer meaning there's something that you're making it mean. There's something that you believe about yourself that you're not even aware of that you believe about yourself. And that's the reason why you're interpreting it that way. So this is
Ooh.
why self-discovery is integral. Because when you implement that in your life, when you do that level of inner work, You don't let rejection make you think, oh, probably this is not for me. Oh, probably I'm not good enough. Oh, probably I'm not cute enough. Oh, forget that. No, I'm sexy. I'm delicious. I'll get smarter because of this. And now more than ever, we need to develop that mindset, start thinking that way, and start seeing ourselves in our life with that level of clarity.
Wow. Wow. Success leaves clues. So are the clues, is your manifesto, is everything that you're talking about, can I find that in your book?
So the book Creating a Lifetime of Wellness, Start Having the Life You Deserve, it's about doing that self-discovery. And I discuss in that book the different areas of our life that many times we tend to take for granted, but yet they play a big role in our life. So one of the things that I discuss is how you need an oasis. Mind you, when I published this book, this was back in 2017. So the very first chapter talks about the home, how the home needs to be an oasis. I think after this pandemic, oh, we all know the role that the home plays,
Right.
right? So that knowing what your needs are, you know how many times we think we know what our needs are, but they're not needs, they're hunger.
Ooh.
So yeah, so when you don't know what your needs are, that's when you find yourself making wrong decisions, right? That's when you find yourself in cycles that you don't like in your life. So knowing what your needs are, choosing your friends right, choosing your companion right, the value of sleep, your relationship with your body, right? Because it's so important that we take care of our body. This is our main vehicle. This is our main home. We always take care of the physical environment, the physical car. But let me tell you this, ain't no car gonna help you when this isn't right. You're not gonna have the energy to drive the car. So it's a very holistic way to really look at yourself and your life so that you can start creating that lifetime. I'm a believer in creating a lifetime of wellness, not a month, not 6 months, not a year, not a few years, a lifetime of wellness.
Wow. Okay, so we're definitely in class right now. We're in class right now. So code keepers, I would say take copious notes, get your pens and your pads because she's dropping bombs. Okay. You're really, how'd you get here? How did you arrive at this level of consciousness, awareness, and self-discovery? How did you get here?
Yeah. I actually started out helping people get out of the sugar roller coaster and lose weight. That's how I started out in coaching as a wellness and life coach. And what I started noticing from my clients and even my own weight loss journey is that the people that would come to me, they did not need a meal plan. They did not need to be told what kind of workout to do or anything like that. There was something so much more deeper going on. And that's when I was able to put two and two together. That if only we were to go to the core of who we really are within and start shedding those layers, right? Because sometimes we don't realize we have a relationship with absolutely everything, from our body to food, ourselves, money, absolutely everything. And if we were to get to the core of it, we could literally simultaneously change several areas of us and our life. One thing that we tend to take for granted is that when you work on yourself and you work on one part of you, you'll be surprised how different parts of you start shifting as well, even though you were not working on those areas of you in your life, but because you're getting to the core of you. That's when I started realizing, oh my God, this inner work is so deep. And yet we tend to want to run away from it, right? Because it could be kind of funky to look within. It can be harsh to learn, oh my God, I was the one that created this.
Ooh.
But that's where your power comes from, though. That's where your power comes from. You do that level of inner work, you make self-development, personal development your secret weapon. Oh, you'll get absolutely anything you want in life.
Wow. So when you say that your frustration is your liberation, I don't want to speak for you. So dive into that. How was your frustration, your liberation? I think you've already answered that. But talk to us about that.
So that is also part of my journey. So before I became a coach, before I got my calling, because I got my calling to be a wellness coach, and then I transitioned to being a self-discovery and empowerment coach. The story that I shared earlier, that's what led me to transitioning to being a self-discovery and empowerment coach. But before becoming a coach, period, the moment I turned 30, I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know. But at that moment, I didn't know what happened. I was so frustrated. Mind you, travel the world, make good money.
Right.
I enjoy the job that I have. I mean, I literally had everything. And I do it in quotation marks on purpose, right? Because many times our everything isn't really, that's relative. What could be everything for one person may not be everything for some other person, but that's a whole different topic. Anyways, I had quote unquote everything to be happy, but yet I felt so frustrated. And at first I thought, oh my God, probably is that I need to change jobs. Probably this isn't for me, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until I started leaning into my frustration that I was able to get the calling of being a wellness coach at the time. And here I am. And so many times when we feel anger, when we feel worry, when we feel sadness, when we feel frustration, we tend to disregard it or dwell in it, which we're not designed to be dwelling in any of those emotions. We're meant to let it flow. We're meant to lean into it for us to get the information and then do something about it, right? So that we can transform it.
Okay.
And the reason why I say your frustration is your liberation, because when we dare to lean into our emotions, that's when we are liberated from whatever quote unquote toxic or negative emotion. There's no such thing, by the way. This is why I say quote unquote. There's no such thing as a toxic or negative emotion. Every emotion, what it is, it's an indicator. It's information from your soul. It is part of your guidance system, right? It's meant to guide you. And so for me, my frustration was my liberation, because all it was my soul wanting to tell me, I have more for you. There's more for you. Lean into it. There's more for you.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, like I said, code keepers, we're in class today. We're in class today with with the queen of self-discovery and empowerment.
Oh, thank you for the queen part.
Yeah. I love how you started, helping people to fight the sugar devil. I'm fighting that myself. Why was that so important to you at your impetus? You kind of mentioned in passing that you had a challenge with baggage or weight. And then, all right. So is sugar that bad for us?
Well, sugar is addicting. There's a study that shows that sugar triggers the same part of the brain that cocaine triggers. So sugar is very addicting because the body literally gets addicted to sugar. Now, I'm a big believer, especially after the work that I used to do as a wellness and life coach, that when you get to the core of you, you're going to understand what your relationship is with food and what your relationship is with your body. And when you get so clear about what is going on within you and how are you viewing food, that is having you have that relationship with food. How are you viewing your body? How are you utilizing your body? Right? And when I say that, I mean, there's some people that they eat because what they're trying to do is numb an emotion. Been there, done that. I was one of those people, right? And so what the weight is doing is just reflecting what's going on within you. Point blank. That's what our outer world reflects. It reflects our inner world. And when we get that, that's when we start going within. because that's where the real transformation starts. Doesn't start outside of us. One of the biggest mistakes that I realized when it comes to weight loss is when we focus so much on, I just need a meal plan. Yeah, you can have a meal plan, been there, done that, and then not follow it after a week because everything looks fun and sexy at the very beginning, but the real challenge isn't the beginning, it's the continuing on.
Ooh.
And when you notice that you're not continuing on, you still have not hit on the nail of what really the problem is. So when you're wanting to release the excess weight, and this not only includes the excess weight in body weight, also the excess weight in life. If you're feeling very heavy, if you're feeling constantly frustrated, if you're feeling constantly angry, start investigating your emotions. Start investigating what's going on within you. The uninvestigated emotions is what makes the emotion become toxic. Ooh, I'm going to repeat that again. It's the uninvestigated emotions, right? Because then we start hoarding the emotions. We start hoarding the thoughts that are related to that emotion that makes that emotion toxic. Because I don't believe there's such a thing as a toxic emotion. What makes it toxic is when we start dwelling in it. And then we hoard everything, right, related to it. What do I mean with that? Say, for example, someone did you wrong. Someone did you wrong.
Right.
Of course, you're in your right to be angry. I mean, that's part of being a human being. As a human being, you're an emotional being. Number one, you're an emotional being. So you are meant to feel all range of emotions.
Right.
That's part of being a human being. So if someone did you wrong, of course you're going to be angry. But say, for example, you decide to ignore that anger because, oh, I want to be positive, right? I don't want to feel this anger or whatever it is that you're thinking about the anger or you're making the anger about, apart from what happened. You don't process that anger. You don't process what happened that came with that anger. Guess what? Something else happens. Oh my gosh. This person didn't get this deadline, this done by the deadline. More anger, right? And then that's what I mean with the hoarding. This is why it's so important to process what's going on, digest. Oh my gosh, I could use a body analogy here.
Okay.
It's so important that we digest the things that are going on within us, process it, and then let it go. Because that's part of you releasing that excess weight, inner weight, which then will affect your outer world.
Wow. I the way that you put this so succinctly, yeah, you the bomb. You the bomb.
Thank you.
One of the other things that I learned when I did my research, I like how you talked about investigate. That's intriguing. But you say master yourself to master life. I think you just described that. Is that what we were just listening to?
Oh, yeah. The moment you understand yourself on a deeper level, not superficial. Oh, yeah, I know why I'm angry. You know how many layers there are to us? It's not even funny. Right? And when we don't peel any of those layers, it has a way of leaking in our life. And you're going to know if you notice that one area is going well in your life. And because that area is going well, you notice another area going kaput, not going well, right? The more you work on yourself and the more you investigate what goes on within you, and the more you understand why you make the choices that you make, and the more you're able to see yourself clearly, things outside of you don't faze you, not as much. And if they do faze you, you're able to bounce right back up more quickly. You're able to preserve this. Oh my gosh, we need to preserve this now more than ever, especially with all the things that are going on around the world, right?
Right.
Because with all the things that have happened, I'm trying to be mindful of my words here. It could be quite easy to fall into the temptation of worry, of anxiety, of freaking out. And when you master yourself and you understand who you are, and you understand how life functions, and you understand the role that you play in everything, and you understand your own power, you're going to be able to stay in your power. And that's going to allow you to master your life. If you think about it, empower, M means in power. When you do the self-discovery, you're always going to be in power. So if you want to really start mastering your life to such a degree that this breakup, even though it hurts, but it doesn't drag you down. If you want to be able to bounce right back up when you have knocks in your life, you gotta start by mastering yourself and investigating yourself, understanding yourself. Because from that place, you're going to have a lot more love for yourself. And you see yourself and life for what it really is.
I'm trying to digest, as you implied earlier, that you really got to digest the information. One of the things that I concern myself with, and particularly with the Get On Code show, is we want to make sure that we have a corporate empowerment. So how do we take this message, this guidance, this awareness, this is it called the Aura method?
Oh, the Aura blueprint.
The Aura blueprint. So how do we take that and address, and that was great branding, by the way. Salute that. All right. The Aura blueprint. Look it up, y'all. The Aura blueprint. Code Keepers is worth the look up. How can we take that and apply it to the entire community? And I know everybody's not going to get on board, but for those who get on board, how can we apply it to more people than just ourselves?
I'm going to say something, and it probably may not be the answer that we may seek, but the only way to really bring this message, say, for example, you said corporate, you mean to everyone else, is by us working on ourselves. I'm going to tell you why. When you work on yourself, by default, you're going to influence the people around you. How do you do that? Think about this. That term, hurt people, oh my gosh. This is why I think now more than ever, we need to be prioritizing our inner work, our inner healing, us really getting so connected with ourselves. When we are not grounded, we're not happy with our life, guess what gets affected? If you live with other people, that affects your relationship with other people. Let's take it outside, the ripple effect. Your friends, it affects the way you interact with your friends, the level of conversations you're able to have, the quality of the interaction that you're able to have. Let's take it even broader. Work. If you're frustrated with your own personal life, guess how you're going to be at work? Guess how you're going to be like when you're taking the train? As you're commuting to work. Oh, get the heck away from me. Oh, don't get close to me. Like I've seen on the train sometimes, right? Some people get so pissed because you accidentally stepped on their toe, right? And that comes from a place of they're not happy with themselves. And so think about it. When someone isn't nice to you, if you're not grounded, it affects the way you feel. It affects the way you interact with other people. Right? And so what I'm trying to get with all this is I don't want anybody watching this to minimize their own impact in this world when they do the inner work. The healthier you are, and when I say healthier, I'm not referring just to the physical, because you could be healthy physically and still be so unhealthy spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and that still isn't health. when you are healthy in every sense of the word and within, and you have this deep level of reverence for yourself, love for yourself, you work on yourself, you heal your wounds, by default, you heal everyone else around you. Because as you allow yourself to be more you, you allow others to be themselves as well. If you think about it, a community is composed of families of other people, right? Think about this. If everyone did their own part to work on themselves, we will have healthier families, which means we will have healthier children, which means we will have healthier employees,
Right, right.
which means we will have a healthier world. It starts with us. It always does. It always does. And another thing too, I want to say this, and I say this with so much love. I'm trying to choose my words. We have to stop. If we really want to enjoy greater well-being, I know this is going to be bold from my part, but we have to stop relying on others to give to us what we need to be giving to ourselves. Love first starts with you. Acceptance first starts with you. Compassion first starts with you. Seeing you first starts with you seeing you. For others to see you, it starts with you seeing you. I can promise you that when you do that, whew, you make better choices when it comes to relationships. You make better choices when it comes to social life. You make better choices overall, which just adds to your overall well-being, which just makes you a better human being, which just gives other people permission to be the best human being themselves. Oh my gosh, the ripple effect. Instead of us relying on, well, work should be providing me this, and this friend of mine should be providing me this. First, provide it to yourself, because that's true empowerment right there. I know I said some deep stuff, right?
Absolutely. So you said it starts with you. Can we then say empowerment, communal, corporate, community empowerment starts individually as well?
It does start individually. Even though there's power in community, but think about it. In today's world, I mean, let's just bring, oh, my hair. Let's just bring it all to where we're at today, because obviously the world is changing. It's not the same as before. And with all these changes, that whole communal thing has changed as well. I mean, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And this is why, if we are to thrive as human beings, not only survive, but thrive as human beings, it's so important that we take the reins of our own life in every sense of the word. And we do that by us investigating ourselves and starting with ourselves. Because what happens is this, and it sounds like I'm going to go on a tangent here, but I'm not. Just everyone hear me out, because
All
this
right.
is powerful.
Okay.
When we, and I, as human beings, we are social beings, right? We all need one another. But when we hope and pray and rely on someone else to be that cheerleader on a consistent basis, we can rely on it once or twice or a few times. But when it's so consistent, I say this with so much love. I know this is gonna probably sting. It becomes a little too much even for other people. I want people to know this. Your happiness not only serves you, it serves others as well. Serves others as well. Because there's someone else that is being influenced, is being modeled what life is, because they're seeing you, because they have you in your life. That's why you matter so much. You don't need to be a person with money to matter a lot. You don't need to be a person that has this high position to matter a lot. If you're not a mom, you're not a dad, doesn't matter. You matter. You matter to someone. There's someone that's influenced because of you. So it's so important that you take yourself seriously, not seriously to the point that everything is serious and you can't laugh at yourself. That's not what I mean. I mean serious in the sense that, you know what? I'm going to take care of me. Because if I don't take care of me, there is no way I'm filling up other people's cup, right? Which is the truth. The healthier we are, the more health we can add to other people. And it's going to come from a genuine place, not from this, well, I'm giving to you because you're going to give to me if I give to you. Meaning I'm going to be there for you, even though I'm so exhausted, I'm so tired, I'm so worn out, and I need love and I need attention. No, we got to stop doing that and really get to a place where we're really taking care of ourselves, because that also leads you to your empowerment.
I feel like passing the plate now. Or I took us to church. Wow. So co-keepers, self-discovery and empowerment coach. And the whole diatribe has been about empowerment. And I love how you say that it starts with you. Yeah. And you also said, as we were corresponding, it's a necessity to get back to a place of true empowerment.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean by true empowerment?
One of the biggest mistakes that we can make is thinking that we're going to be empowered through something outside of ourselves. Meaning that if I have a partner with me, I was guilty of that, but that's a whole different topic. But anyways, whether that is if I have the love of my life, that's when I'm going to be empowered and I'm going to be my cheerful self. No. If I have this job that pays me good money, then I'm really going to be empowered. If I have this sexy body, then I'm going to be empowered. No, and no. When you get that true empowerment comes from your grounding, your deep, profound knowledge of yourself, from your own self-love, from you really removing the layers that doesn't allow you to see yourself and your life clearly, that's when you're able to get yourself to a point where the not having something is not going to trip you up. Right? And when you're able to get to a point where the not having that thing that you may think is going to give you the happiness, that you may think is going to give you the power or whatever, that's when you're able to actually manifest those things. Think about it, because you're coming from a place of this certainty and fullness. You become more appealing. You become more attractive. The very things are already drawn to you. And you're able to be in full alignment. Alignment meaning, we hear this word a lot. And I even did this training yesterday called Clear Your Way. And I discussed what alignment is. If you look at the definition of alignment, it means alliance. It means things being in a straight line. Think of the word align. A line. There's no zigzag. There's no U-turn. There's no left. There's no right? When you are so certain about who you are clearing your vision. And your vision is not just a calling. It's a healthy purpose that you have that includes every part of you and your life. And you know what you're all about, and you're able to see the beauty within you. Oh my gosh, you become a powerful being. And when I say powerful being, you become who you're meant to be. You become what God has always wanted you to be. Your true power comes from here, not something outside of you. Everything is already within. Everything is already within.
All right, so let's talk about you. What have you intentionally done differently from your previous generation to make a better life?
Yeah. The biggest thing is developing myself. Because my previous generation, my mom never thought about personal development, developing herself, nor did my dad, nor did my grandmother or grandfather. So that is a big one. That is a big one. Two, daring to go for all of my dreams. That's another one. And that is a big one too, because when you come from poverty, I'm going to say poverty in quotation marks, because to me, if you're able to eat, even if you don't have an abundance of money, and you have a home and you have family that love you and care for you, you are very abundant. It's time to redefine what being abundant really, really is, but that's just me. So going for everything that I truly desire is also something that I intentionally am doing, which is quite different from my previous generations. But I would say the biggest one has been my personal development. That is huge for me. That is everything now for me. Because I know that the more I develop myself, the more me I'm gonna be.
How has you becoming more you improved your family?
One of the things that I've noticed about my mom, because my dad isn't here anymore, but one of the things that I've noticed about my mom is she sees that more is possible. That's huge. I think especially in the community of people of color and coming from the South Bronx, that's huge. Because many times what we don't realize is, especially when we grow up in a community where there's so much limitations, you see a lot of things that just doesn't allow you to see them more as possible. You can fall into the trap of believing that something may not be for you, right? That certain things are possible for other people, but not people like you. So for her to so closely see that I'm going to be speaking here, that I'm going to be doing this, that I am making this happen and that happen, it has allowed her to see, oh my gosh, more is possible. And even the people close to me too, has allowed them to see, oh my gosh, more is possible.
More is possible. That sounds like a campaign slogan. A campaign slogan to improve your life. What is it? Obama had "We Can Do It" or something like that. It was the same
Oh my
Bob the Builder.
gosh.
Yes, we can. Cecil Quedes. Yeah, yes, we can. It was Bob the Builder. Yes, we
Yeah.
can. Well,
Yeah.
President Obama said that. More is possible.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, salute to the South Bronx. I'm a Brooklyn boy, but
Yay.
we love all of New York City.
Yes.
Hey, walk us through your website. Walk us through your
Yes.
website. All right. So tell us about the website.
Yes. So that you see right there is the free course that I offer, The Path to Your Nirvana. And this is about guiding people through the 5 steps that I guide them through so that they can get to their unique happiness. I'm a big believer that everybody has their own unique happiness, right? What may make you happy may not make me happy, et cetera, et cetera. So this is about you doing that self-discovery and really getting to your true power. On the site, people can listen to the podcast, they can read the blog, they can learn more about me, they can learn more about the services that I offer. For those that want to do their own work on their own self-paced, there are courses that I offer that they can get for themselves. What else? I've also posted, those are the courses. Your frustration is your liberation. Make this feeling work for you. Be your own happy place is the
Ooh.
other one.
That's dope. Be your own happy place. That's dope. That's dope. That's hot. Be
Thank
your
you.
own happy place. Wow, that should be on plates and silverware. That should be in Macy's, and it can even be in Target or Target. Yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
Yes, thank you. The other one is living with gratitude, master the art of goodness. Because I'm a big believer that gratitude is not a feeling. We cannot be limiting gratitude to a feeling. It is a lifestyle. And so I teach people in that course how to make it into a lifestyle. I'm telling you, that is total transformation right there. I mean, seriously, like seriously. But anyways, and then the other one is called Step Up to Level Up. Make this your time to create your life by design, right? Because so many times we live our life going through the motions. No, you could create your own life. You really can. And so those are the courses that I offer.
Wow. Okay, this looks like an album cover. You can tell I'm old school. I said album cover. And if somebody wants to work with you, they can go to the Work With Me page.
Yes. And so those are the programs that I offer. There is a 30-day there, which is Elevate You. There is a 90-day roadmap program that is a little more specific. It's about getting people to really get so connected to what is next for them. And then Discover You is more general, whereas whatever it is that a person is wanting to work on, it's tailored to them. And that's a 90-day program as well. And
Incredible.
we go deep.
Incredible. So it looks like you have everything that somebody needs to really do the investigation, to do the self-discovery, and to lead to the empowerment.
Oh, yes. And I did it in such a way that the person that is unable to work with me one-on-one, no problem. Get yourself the course. Get yourself the course. And you could do it on your own. I am guiding you. You are able to watch it whenever you can. You have the workbooks that you can download and print and work on it. So there's no excuse to not do this inner work. There's no excuse. People can also sign up to the newsletter where I send out newsletters and things that are uplifting. I also offer freebies. Freebies meaning free things there that they can download and get themselves. So there's just no excuse. And I made it in such a way where there's no excuse for you not to do that inner work. I hope you don't mind me sharing that I also have a private Facebook group. It's called Inner Globetrotters. Yes, Inner Globetrotters, the travel within.
Wait. Okay, wait. Inner Globe, Globe or GLOW?
No, GLOBE, Inner Globetrotters. Like a globetrotter, someone that travels the world, but you're traveling within. And so I offer so many resources.
Wait. Inner Globe Trotter. That's dope.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, because metaphysically, everything that's outside is a representative of what's inside.
Yes.
So okay, you deep into the metaphysics too. Okay.
Well, okay. I wouldn't say that I'm in the metaphysics, but since I love traveling the world, I'm a globe trotter. So it's so important to do the inner work. It's so important. I'm telling you, I say this over and over again. I can promise you this. You do the work within, your life will transform. Seriously, it will transform. And I do this work in Spanish as well. As you can see that little flag, the American flag, whoever that clicks on that, they'll be able to see the Spanish version and they can get to the Spanish version of the site as well, because I do this work in both languages. Yes, okay. Honoring my roots, honoring making this available also for the Spanish speaking community.
Okay. I'm loving it. I'm loving this. Code keepers, tap in. And as we say, get on code, share the code, like, share, and subscribe this because we're bringing on some great content for some great thought leaders. I'm just kind of blown away. And code keepers, just to remind, hey, share with somebody. Hey, watch Get on Code on YouTube or on Facebook. We can also check out the Get on Code show on your podcast platform. So if you listen on Apple, if you listen on Google Podcasts, if you listen to Podcast Addict, look for Get on Code, and you're going to find this episode up there very shortly. So, wow, I'm really just kind of blown away with everything that you're doing. Give us some last words, some final directions, some final guidance.
Yes. Life gets juicier when you do the inner work. It really does. It really does.
Wow. Life gets juicier when you do the inner work. Also, check out her Instagram. Instagram is popping. No one grows on their own, and neither do you. No one grows on their own, and neither do you. And you know what? We didn't get a chance to talk about purge yourself into alignment. You did talk about alignment, but purge yourself into alignment. That'll be our closing talk. Purge yourself into alignment. Talk about.
Yes. So part of you purging yourself into alignment is some of the things that I've discussed here, which is you doing the inner work, you removing those layers, you discovering what needs to be cleared out of your life so that you can clear the path for yourself so that you can get the things that you want, make that vision possible, and live more purposefully.
Ashe. Code keepers, I told you this one's for the books. This one is for the books. So make sure you go to the website. Let me pull that back up again. For self-discovery, for empowerment, go there. I've signed up for the newsletter, and man, I'm telling you, go there, sign up, do the work, purge the problems, empower yourself. Well, I like that. Purge the problems. That has a nice ring to it. Purge the problems. All right. Oh. We would be remiss if you didn't talk about the Aura Blueprint. We kind of mentioned it, but give the goods. Tell us about the Aura Blueprint out of here, Code Keepers.
Yes. So Aura Blueprint is the process that I guide my clients through when they work with me. And yes, it has my name for a reason. That's because it represents every step of the process. So the first A in Aura Blueprint is assess. We're going to assess where you are now, where you would like to be, what needs to happen in order to close that gap. But not only that, just like the pilots before every trip, they know what city they're in, they know what city they're going to, and they have their flight map. They got to make sure that plane inside and out is good for the trip. And that's what we're going to be doing once you decide to work with me. We're going to make sure that you are ready for what it is that you say that you want, because many times we think we're ready for what it is that we want, but we're not. The you in the Aura Blueprint is for understand. We're going to understand what has kept your life parked all this time. Now, this is where the transformation actually starts. Sometimes we think that once we know where we're heading and we know where we are and what we need to do, that we're going to get the transformation. No. The understand, that's when we start peeling away those layers, those things that have been standing in your way and has kept you and your life parked all this time. So that's really one of the biggest bulk of the whole process. The R in Aura Blueprint is for realign. We're going to realign all parts of you. This is equally important. I'm going to tell you why. As you start removing those layers, the stories, the conditioning, the whatever that has kept you stuck, You may notice that you feel weird without that layer, right? Because if you've been so used to being a certain way, you could feel naked without that conditioning. You could feel naked without that belief. And when you don't take the time to really realign with the version of who you really are, realign with your vision, that's when you find yourself falling back into that cycle that you were in before. And then the final A in Aura Blueprint is aliveness. Because aliveness is what you're going to be experiencing when you see how your outer world matches your inner world. So that is the process that I got my clients through. And I'm telling you, it's profound, it's deep, it's transformational.
And I think it's apropos. It's apropos. The distinctive atmospheric quality that seems to surround and be generated by a person, thing, or place in spiritualism and some forms of alternative medicine, a supposed emation surrounding the body of a living creature and regarded as an essential part of the individual. Emotional, mental, and spiritual levels forming energy field around the body known as the aura. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So, hey, code keepers, let's climb that ladder. You see the website on the bottom. We've learned about self-discovery and empowerment. We went longer than I expected.
Oh, really?
Because you're dope.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me here.
Oh, I love it. So, hey, code keepers, as we say, get on code. Get on code. Share the code, teach the code, become the code. Our code is empowerment, and we love you. Peace.